Watched their games, their video. They are a very strong team. They are a very determined team. We know it's going to be a tough game, but we're happy we got the win at the end. It's a good work from the whole team. We fought till the last minute, so I'm very happy we got the 3 points.
There's a reason why everyone's in the competition. They did well to get here, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy. We have quality players as well, so it was very hard.
It was unfortunate we conceded such a soft goal because the boys worked so hard. Like you said, we created very good chances in the first half, and there's a lot of positive we can take from this game, and hopefully in the next game we can put it right. What is there that's missing? I think it's experience. You know, some of the boys, and myself, this is the biggest tournament they'll ever play in, and it's about taking as much positives from this game and taking it to the next game, because like I said, our unity is very strong. We caused a lot of problems to Nigeria. They've got top quality players, Champions League players, Premier League winners, and we caused them a lot of problems.
Ibrahim was there talking about, you know, yeah, they were really strong, you know, coming out of Nigeria. We just,
got collect 10 goals now.
Okay, yeah. Now, before we leave the Nations Cup, let's take a look at other results on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday results. You know, that Morocco got a 1-0 victory, own goal against Namibia. Namibians scored themselves, so Morocco got the 3 points.
Algeria as well.
Algeria also were able to get the results out of their game. You also have Senegal also winning
without Sadio
against
Mane.
Tanzania. Without Sadio Mane. That's a big team, complete squad.
Look,
No Sadio Mane, no
guys
problem.
have a squad.
Yeah.
You get, so let's not even bother Sadio Mane or not, you know. Just like Algeria too, I saw Mahrez with that lovely tapping and everything.
So Slimani on the bench, you still Brahimi on the bench,
like, man,
and they still got that.
It's amazing how they can put those kind of players on the bench and still play the way they played. But you will notice one thing, virtually all the games that have been played have shown us that African football is getting closer when it comes to quality. The way Kenya were able to, at least, although they conceded goals, they were able to tighten things up. Burundi, Nigeria, even Egypt, you know, struggled. It shows that it's getting closer and closer, and if you don't up your game.
So you love the 24 teams, because some people never liked it. They said it's going to reduce the quality. Now, what are we saying now?
I'm one of those that doesn't like the 24 teams.
Okay, so tell me, what have you seen so far?
You have 54 countries in Africa. You've got virtually all 54 countries struggling to play quality football, including Nigeria. I tell you that, all right? Don't always base this like, okay, we're playing Africa, we're number one, we're this, we're blah, blah, blah. Now, listen carefully. We've been to the World Cup the last time. How many African teams made it beyond the first round? The one that made it to the second round, how were they playing? Even the ones that played in the first round, look at basics of football.
You say we should reduce it more, or we should have stuck with 16? Is that what you're saying?
We should have been with 16. So
you want to deprive others of having opportunity to be at the big level?
Number one, let me tell you, for 24 teams in the first instance, you're not likely to have some of these small countries being able to host. When you have a large team, they're not. Most African countries are not economically viable to host the Nations Cup. So number one, you deprive them. That one is even worse than saying that they should play. 16 teams has always been a problem. You know, trying to find 4 venues, trying to find countries who are interested, creating a quality tournament that you can say, these guys are playing this way, things are organized this way, there are no problems. So now you go and create this monster called 24. All right? That is one point. Then the second thing is this. You have a Burundi playing. What do you deny Burundi? Basically, you can create something that will keep all these lower teams busy and put them in a ranking system that can, of course, afterwards graduate into rubbing shoulders.
Something like the Nations League that Europe is doing right now.
That is not impossible.
I totally disagree with Yomi.
Let me hear that. Let me have that perspective.
You see, he talked about depriving people. You don't deprive people who are not ready. If you do not have 8 stadiums in your country, nobody has deprived you. You've deprived yourself. If you don't have 8 standard stadiums, you don't have 6, you've deprived yourself. Even at 16 that Yomi was talking about, how many African countries can afford to? So it's got nothing to do with the number of teams. It actually has everything to do with how unserious we are on the African continent with improving our sports.
Now, shall I listen carefully?
So, wait a minute, Yomi.
Azerbaijan hosted...
Yomi, let me make this point. You know, so the beauty of it is that when South Africa steps up her game, Nigeria steps up her game, you can't blame them for owning X number of stadiums, Egypt, Algeria, and the rest of them. What you should do is to aspire. We've seen small countries like Gabon host Africa, so let's not make those excuses at all. 2, bringing 24 teams together will only give you the best of African football. knowing that they've all gone through the qualifiers. Everybody went through the qualifiers. So we shouldn't come and say because they failed to qualify for 24, they are being deprived. They failed. You know, they failed.
Okay.
It's their fault.
We had 16 teams. The quality wasn't much. Now you have 24. All right.
I've seen quality already. I mean,
You know, if you're an African, you can watch. If you're not an African, can you watch?
when this tournament is over, you guys will come.
You know, let's just talk about today's fixtures before we talk about the little matter of the girls. That's another hot potato. But let's look at today's fixtures at the Nations Cup. Let's see some of the teams. Guys, I just want to have your take. Group D, Cote d'Ivoire, South Africa, Tunisia, Angola, Mali, and Mauritania. Shola, a quick start on this one.
I'm rooting for Cote d'Ivoire versus South Africa, basically because Cote d'Ivoire are from my side of Africa, not because South Africa beat us.
Okay. All right. Which one of which one of these ones you think, if you want to tell a football fan, sit in front of the TV, which one of these games will be it for you and say, go and watch this game?
I think South Africa, Ivory Coast is going down, so I would expect South Africa to put up a very good fight with them. The football is really good now. Yeah. After that generation, the golden generation, they're really dropping. That's the truth. And Tunisia, Angola will be a very good game. Mali, Mauritania. If you're having problems sleeping, you can go watch it.
You sleep off.
Okay, it's time for you guys to actually prove him wrong and give us good football.
Field, yeah,
give us good football. Play good football tonight, and we will be forced to wait and watch. All right, let's leave the AFCON now and talk about this one. A little bit of drama that happened on Sunday morning, but then, I mean, it's clearer now. But we just want to put a little perspective to this one concerning payments made to the Super Falcons players from the NFF and all that. The only one that said is left is just the 5 days they spent before the last game against Germany, and also the qualifying money for qualifying to round of 16 and all that, the entitlement they're going to get from FIFA, which they will not get until after the championship is over. This is what the NFF actually outlined, what they've actually given to the players. They said that the 2016 Women's Cup of Nations and all that qualifying bonus between Nigeria and Senegal, of course, the match that was played in Abuja, that one has been paid. They did this one when they were in Austria. That was when they paid out all these outstanding. Then the 2018 qualifiers, also Nigeria, Gambia, that was played in Lagos. The bonus was also paid recently. The camp and friendly matches played in Spain, 7 days allowances, was also settled in Austria. And of course, the Waffle Cup tournament that they won in Cote d'Ivoire, they also settled that. The pre-World Cup camp in Austria, 14 days, that one also have been settled. Refund made to players who, for visa procurement, train, buses and all that also be settled. And of course, the money paid to each players on the bonus against Korea Republic. And of course, the 14-day allowances for the World Cup. So the extra one, the one they're yet to pay, is actually the extra 5 days daily allowances to the players. Because of the numbers of days they spent after, waiting, anticipating, and see if they are going to get into the round of 16 and all that. And also, the qualifying to the round of 16, they're entitled to $1 million from FIFA. And of course, 750 is going to be qualification bonus and 250 for exiting at the round of 16. But the issue was that the players wanted a sit down before the tournament started and all that. They didn't have that. And of course, all this came out. And before you know it, a little bit of news coming out from the camp, and it's overblown. And everyone is saying,
all too familiar,
why again?
All too familiar.
See, 3 pages. Why? 3 pages. Why 3 pages? That's my question. You were heading towards a tournament. You didn't sit the players down to say, this is the situation of things.
That's how we're going about it.
That's how we're going about it. You don't run a transparent organization and you say, you're writing 3 pages. You would think I'm going to believe that? Come on. Somebody paid for my tuition. I'm not stupid. All right? This happened in Poland. It happened in Russia. It's happening every time with us. Why? This is just 1 + 1 is equal to 2. What does it take to call players? Listen, in my own small world, we've organized team for international events with a very small contingent. And before we travel out, we sit down and have a discussion. These are human beings. They're not toys. They're adults. These are other people's children, somebody's mom, somebody's sister. You don't sit them down. Let me tell you, I still ask a basic question with women in Nigeria, especially the female teams. For generations, the first people to qualify in Nigeria for the World Cup ever, the least paid, the most achiever, and generation upon generation, they come out and they're happy to put on the green and white. what is the reward? Because we all know that even at some point, Christ and his disciples had an engagement. Where are we going to be on the last day, on the judgment day? And Christ had a basic understanding with them, and that inspired them. What is the inspiration behind the Falcons playing? These Nigerian girls from 1999, 96, every time they go out to play to represent Nigeria, what do you do with them?
Yeah.
All too familiar. They win Nations Cup over and over again. You put them in one rickety truck and you show them around.
Well, recently all that have actually changed. They're trying to
make it better. If it has changed, so why did this come up again?
Yeah.
If it has changed, Cecilia, why did it come up again?
You know, mentioned, maybe the sit down would have been better. Shola, what do you think? Oh,
so nothing has changed.
You know, at any moment we might be told to go on a break. But Shola, how has going on this kind of protest become so effective?
Shola, you know what? Maybe you have to hold your thought there. We'll go on a break. When we come back, he will answer the question.